don't need to reprogram your subconscious to manifest the life you want. It's already doing the work, quietly, automatically, while you're busy trying to fix yourself. In this video, I'll show you 5 subtle signs your subconscious is already changing without affirmations, hypnosis, or forcing anything. Because real transformation doesn't happen when you try harder, it happens when you finally stop. Watch until the end, because there's a big surprise there that could change the whole way you look at manifesting, and you might discover you've already become the person you were trying to become all along. You know those moments when you suddenly notice something that's been right in front of you for years? A song lyric you've heard 100 times, but for some reason today it hits completely differently? That's what real transformation feels like. It's quiet, it's subtle, and it's already happening, even if you think you're stuck. Because here's the thing no one tells you. You don't need to reprogram your subconscious to change your life, because your subconscious is reprogramming itself all the time. And in this video, I'm going to show you 5 clear signs that it's already happening naturally, effortlessly, without you needing to chant, script, or visualize anything. By the end, you'll see that transformation isn't something you do, it's something you notice. Let me tell you why this matters. If you've been in the self-help or manifestation world for a while, you've probably heard that you should reprogram your subconscious. They want you to believe that subconscious programming, which by definition you can't be aware of, is the culprit and the reason why things aren't turning out just as you want them to. This idea is everywhere, from hypnosis to affirmations to those 21-day mindset rewires. But give it a moment's reflection and you'll see what that idea secretly implies. It implies that something inside you is broken, which means you have to go in and fix it. And that you'll know when it's finally done if you've said the right affirmation enough times. And that's where most people get stuck. Because how do you know if it's worked? How do you reprogram something you can't even consciously access? You don't. That's why so many people chase technique after technique, trying to force a transformation that's actually meant to happen by itself. So let's flip that idea completely. Instead of trying to change your subconscious, what if you started noticing the ways it's already changing? That's what these 5 signs are really about. Evidence that you're evolving naturally without effort. Incidentally, in my Effortless Money Manifesting Masterclass, you won't find a single idea that your subconscious needs reprogramming around money. It takes less than 10 minutes to get the idea. It really is easy. And if you want to watch it, there's a link at the top of the description and a QR code on screen you can scan. It's free, by the way. All right, what are these 5 signs? Let's take them one by one. Sign 1, you're noticing different things in your environment. Have you ever walked down a street you've walked 100 times before and suddenly a new cafe or a new sign or a conversation catches your attention? That's not coincidence. That's your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, tuning into a new frequency. When your self-concept shifts, your perception automatically follows. You don't have to force yourself to see new opportunities. You simply do. It's like when you buy a red car and suddenly see red cars everywhere. Your outer world starts reflecting your inner change. So if you've started spotting synchronicities, patterns, or opportunities that you'd have ignored before, congratulations. That's your subconscious reorganizing itself. I've done it with books I've read before, and suddenly a new meaning will spring out of the page as if it wasn't there before. Or sometimes with movies I've seen before. I probably hear or see something new in It's a Wonderful Life every time I watch it, even though I must have seen that movie more than 20 times in my life. Okay, let's move on to the second sign. Sign 2 is old triggers don't land the same way. Have you noticed that something or someone that used to really get under your skin just doesn't anymore? Maybe a family member's criticism or that email that once ruined your day now feels more like background noise. That's not you becoming numb. It's something called cognitive defusion. In plain English, your brain is no longer attaching meaning to old stories. What that means is that you're noticing your thoughts instead of identifying with them. You're not trying to think positive, you've simply stopped believing the negative thought. The emotional charge is gone because the subconscious narrative that used to support it has dissolved. This is one of the clearest signs of inner change, not because you made it happen, but because your mind let go naturally. Let that sink in, and we'll move on to the third step, which was, now I come to reflect on it, for me, probably the most important one that ended my struggle with money and debt. Ready? Sign 3 is you're taking action without the internal negotiation. You know that back and forth inner argument that goes on in your head? I should do this, but what if I fail? I'll start tomorrow. It seems like procrastination, but it's fear-based. And that fear is coming from anxiety that you'll repeat patterns of the past, which itself comes from the fact that you're basing your decisions on what you know, rather than letting the universe, aka the subconscious, by the way, that's our connection to the universe, instead of letting it guide you and show you the way. When that noise quiets down, action feels natural, sometimes even inspired. Yesterday I saw this in action for real. I was watching a TV game show. The final contestant had one more question to answer correctly. Getting it right meant pocketing a 6-figure sum, which meant a great deal to her and her family. There were 4 possible answers. She had 30 seconds to discuss it with an expert panelist, but neither of them knew the right answer. They rapidly discussed answers A, C, and D. Option B wasn't mentioned, and then they ran out of time. The host needed her answer immediately. From nowhere, she blurted, B. The host was shocked. The expert was stunned, and even the contestant herself looked devastated. Her hand flew to her mouth as she realized what she had just done. The host asked her, where did that come from? Answer B wasn't even discussed. She didn't know. It just came into my head to say that answer, she sort of babbled. And then she, the host, and all the panelists, along with us, the TV audience, had to wait through what seemed like an interminably long drum roll. Was it the right answer? She was sure it wasn't. We at home became convinced it wasn't. And it was. Now, I can't promise you a 6-figure prize, but I can tell you that trusting that kind of inner wisdom changed my life in every way imaginable, including with money, which now flows freely into my life. That's why I encourage you to check out my Effortless Money Manifesting Masterclass, if money's a sticking point for you. It's free, and it could just change your relationship with money forever, and it's under 10 minutes long. Just click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen now. The point is, you're not forcing yourself with motivation or affirmations. You just do it. You know instinctively, I can't think of a better word, when something's right. And just like that game show contestant, you act almost without thinking. Now, obviously, you can't make this happen because that would require techniques and practice and, well, a lot of thinking, which is the complete opposite of letting your subconscious, which I'll remind you once again, is the cable that connects you to universal wisdom. Just do the work. It happens all by itself. You don't try to grow your fingernails or circulate your blood. And you don't need to try to do this either. This is what identity level change looks like. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits. That real transformation happens when your actions come from who you believe you are, not what you're trying to become. When your subconscious identity updates, you stop trying to be consistent because you already are. Okay, time to move on. Sign 4 is your language has shifted without you noticing. Listen to how you talk. Are you using different words now, softer ones, more empowered ones? Do you describe yourself differently? I'm the kind of person who always worries might have quietly become, I'm getting better at trusting things. That's not semantics, that's subconscious evidence. Your speech patterns always reveal your self-concept, and when they change, it means your inner dialogue has already updated. You didn't reprogram anything. It happened through awareness, through new insights, through life itself. Again, don't try to do this, just notice. Your subconscious is at work supporting you to become your best self, and it always was doing that. It has never been the receptacle for unwanted or damaging thoughts or habits. It's just looking after you like your heart does with respect to keeping your physical body alive. So, before I reveal to you the deeper truth behind all of these signs, and you'll want to hold on for that, because when you fully understand why these signs matter, it's a game changer. Let's discuss the fifth and final sign that your subconscious is reprogramming itself. Sign 5 is this: you're less interested in fixing yourself. This is the most beautiful sign of all. You've stopped chasing self-help. You're less obsessed with techniques and more at peace with being. That constant itch to improve, to fix what's wrong, fades as acceptance replaces resistance. You start to trust that you're okay as you are, and ironically, that's when everything starts to improve anyway. I must have read thousands of self-help books over a 30-year period. That's not an exaggeration. My bookshelves were full of them, and of course I still have many of them, but they are mostly gathering dust. I almost never read fiction, not because I don't enjoy a good story, but because I just didn't have time. And then one day, I just didn't need it anymore. I can't pinpoint exactly when. I just stopped going to those bookshops, and I picked up a novel, and boy, did I enjoy it. You see, growth doesn't come from self-rejection. It comes from relaxing into your natural intelligence, the same one that beats your heart and grows the grass without your input. When you stop fighting yourself, your subconscious finally has space to breathe. So why does all of this matter? What difference is this going to make in your life? Well, buckle up, because this is quite a ride. Why don't you need to reprogram your subconscious? Because there's no you and it. Let me say that again slightly differently. There's no self to be improved and no universe outside that might, if you're very good, send some goodies your way. There's only one mind, one intelligence, and it's always updating itself. You and it are one and the same thing. When you try to control it, you actually interrupt that natural process. Imagine trying to tell your body how to digest food. You'd only make yourself ill. It's the same with thought and emotion. Your subconscious doesn't need micromanaging. It needs you to stop tinkering with it. When you allow quiet, when you stop rehearsing fears and affirmations alike, the deeper intelligence beneath thought begins to take over. That's when things start aligning. That's when coincidences appear. That's when peace arrives without reason. Let that sink in, because it's a biggie. So, if you've been wondering whether you're doing it right or beating yourself up for not reprogramming fast enough, take a breath. Look at what's already changing. Maybe you're calmer in situations that used to make you anxious. Maybe you're drawn to different people or conversations. Maybe you've stopped needing the next technique to feel ready. That's progress, and it didn't require effort. Because change doesn't come from effort. It comes from trust. Trust in the quiet workings of your own mind. Trust that awareness itself, without manipulation, is what heals and transforms. And if you'd like to go deeper into how that trust turns into real-world results, especially with money and abundance, please watch my Effortless Money Manifesting Masterclass. It expands on exactly this idea, how to stop fighting your thoughts and let the universe, or more accurately, the intelligence within you, bring solutions you could never think up consciously. You'll find the link just below this video, and that QR code is on the screen one last time. Because maybe you don't need to reprogram your subconscious at all. Maybe you just need to notice it's already on your side. I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another video.